Girl, you didn't even bring bedding. You don't even have a mattress. What is going on?
You mad I took away your squeaker?
You'll live. You'll live.
It's stressing me out.
Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alicia Runs and Reads, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some of the books I'm reading and then continue on with a vlog. I have taken a little bit of time off since Summerween, since I daily vlogged, and so I haven't vlogged since last Thursday, and it is Wednesday now, so almost a week, and I just want to update you on what I'm reading and then continue on vlog style until I finish this set of books that I'm reading. I chose Chaos and decided to start 5 books. One I already finished, which was Fahrenheit 451. I have this super old copy circa the 70s that I found at my library, so I grabbed it a while ago. And yeah, so I finished this one by Ray Bradbury. I wanted to read this a long time ago and I never got to it, and I just never read it in high school, so I wanted to read it. It's placed in a dystopian world where books are outlawed, print is outlawed, knowledge is outlawed, and they burn books. And our main character is a fireman, and he goes around burning people's homes and books and things like that. And then he is slowly changing his mind about things, and we follow along with him. And I gave this one 4 stars, but we're not going to talk about it too much because I didn't vlog it. There's a few other books I didn't vlog, but we'll just talk about those in my wrap up at the end of the month. But I'll tell you what I'm reading at the moment. So I started Homesick by Rhiannon Grist. This is a NetGalley arc, and this just came out 33% into this. This is about a woman who, something happens in her life, we don't really know what yet. And she was living in Edinburgh. She moves to a small little place in Scotland, and she brings nothing with her, not even sheets. And when she gets into the house, there's like a lightly used mattress, and she decides to sleep on that mattress with like a towel and her hoodie rolled up. I'm like, girl, you didn't even bring bedding. You don't even have a mattress. What is going on? That was like the first thing that I was alarmed by. I mean, screw the hauntings, things that she's seeing or feeling about this house in this town. No bedding, used mattress. Ugh, nightmare, in my opinion. Anyway, I am liking this so far, 33% of the wins. Some shit is starting to hit the fan, I think, but we don't really know exactly what's going on. I have some theories having to do with the lamb on this cover and some things they have mentioned, which I don't want to say, but I'm enjoying this one so far. So I'm looking forward to getting back to this one later today. I started Peach Pit by Molly Llewellyn and Christelle Buckley. It's edited by 16 Stories of Unsavory Women. I really like the cover of this. This is for Allie's book club, and I am 4 stories into it so far. I'm finding them all to be kind of meh for me. Not bad, but not anything that I'm super excited to get back into. So I'm hoping that some of the other stories hit harder for me, but we will see. I am just chipping away at this. I am hoping to finish all these books by the end of the weekend, but I'm not sure that's going to happen because it's Thursday already, and I have some kind of big ones, but I'm partially way through all of them, so we'll see. I am reading Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Juliette Marillier, maybe. And this one is based in Ireland, sort of. I think it's like supposed to be a fantasy version of Ireland in the Middle Ages-ish, where there are lords of certain plots of land and having to guard themselves and fight against the incoming British or Britons as they call them, or also Vikings, etc. And she is the daughter, the 7th child of this lord, and he has 6 sons that were born before her. The 7th pregnancy, her mother passed away giving birth to her, or slightly after giving birth to her. There's a lot of Irish folklore and talk of fae in here, and the brothers get cursed, and she has to find a way to break that curse, or is told the way to break that curse. It is based on the Six Swans story in Ireland, but I'm not familiar with that. I guess it's loosely based on that, but I'm enjoying this so far. I mean, I'm 150 pages in, and they just got cursed just a little while ago, and nothing else. You know, we're following her. There's a lot of other things that were going on before that, a lot of character development, and you really sort of feel the relationship she has with all of her brothers. I think they're all very well fleshed out. Mostly 3 of them are especially well fleshed out, and you really do like them, or at least connect with them, or at least I have. So I think this is going to be one I'm going to continue to enjoy. It is long. This is only 400 pages, but the pages are very text heavy, and the audiobook, which I'm not listening to, is 27 hours long. And so I know it's longer than it's going to feel like a long 400 page book. I have also started Bourbon and Proof. This is the third book in the Bourbon Boy series by Victoria Wilder. I met her about a little over a year ago. She is somewhat local to me when she was just publishing indie. These now have been picked up by TradPub, which is wonderful for her. I think these books are a fun romance time. They are romantic suspense-ish. I've never really read I've read a little bit of romantic suspense back in like 2020, and I liked them. But this, I don't feel like it's heavy on the suspense, but there are some aspects of organized crime in here, very on the periphery though. But I really liked both the first and second in the series, and this one has a particular couple that I've been waiting to get together, so I think I will like this one as well. But I am currently only 39 pages into this one, and I'm primarily saving that for the weekend because Jan from Jan Agaton's Patreon is having a cowboy romance readathon, and although they're not cowboys, they do have horses, and they do have a farm, and they brew bourbon. So they have corn in a farm and horses and horse troughs and barns. So I'm counting it, but there are no cows to be seen that I remember. Anyways, also I started on audio. I also started Tilt by Emma Petit, and I'm not sure if I'm going to like this one, but I did get it from Artwork back when it came out, so I wanted to at least try it, and I saw that it was available now on audio through Libby, so I snagged it and started listening to this one when I finished Fahrenheit 451. This is about a heavily pregnant woman. I think she's 9 months pregnant, and an earthquake hits while she's at IKEA, and she basically has nothing to do but walk to somewhere where she can get help. And I think this is about climate change as well, her past, and how she got to where she was today. It says propulsively, darkly comedic, and filled with heart. Tilt is a primal scream of a novel about the disappointments and desires we all carry, and what each of us will do for the people we love. So yeah, this is fine so far. I don't know I think I'm like 16% of the way in. So where I am now, the earthquake has happened and she's starting to deal with that. And then we're also getting flashbacks of her, talking about how her and her partner met and her childhood a little bit, and the relationship with her mother who passed away, and just the background. I feel like this is going to be character heavy, but I don't know. We shall see. I figured I'd give it a shot since I own it. So these are the 5 books plus Homesick that I am currently reading, and hopefully I will not start any others, and if I do, you won't know about it. I decided to wrap up the last 2 books I have for ARCs for July and just put them in a vlog, because I only have 2. I'm already midway through July, and all those books I think are already out. All I have is this and Red Sacrament. So I'm just going to put them in vlogs as I read them this time, and then continue with Ready, Set, Net probably in the fall. I don't think I have many for August, but we'll see how I'm feeling in a couple of weeks, because I have a bunch of books I just want to get to as usual. And I also have a lot of library books that I'm going to be having to return soon if I do not read. So I want to get to some of those. This one's due on the 18th and it's the 15th, so I got to get cracking on that one. Anyways, that's the plan for this vlog. Just kind of a mood reading, catch up, chill vlog. We have already gone on some adventures that I videoed a few clips from, but don't have a vlog to put them in because I wasn't vlogging my books. And so you'll be seeing some of that. We went to a local park that has an old castle that a very eccentric man built back in the day, and there's tunnels and things and trails, and that was fun. And then we also went to the lake yesterday. Although it was very smoky, there wasn't an air quality alert yet, but there is one today, so we're going to be staying inside. That is from the fires up in Canada, so I hope everyone is doing okay. If you are up there, that is just really sad. And yeah, we are feeling the effects all the way down here in Connecticut, and I know there's also feeling them like New Jersey and the Midwest and the Northeast and all those places, and so that's really sad. Anyways, I will let you know when I have something else to say. here to do a little vlog update. I am 23% into Tilt. This is going fine. I don't think it's going to be something that I fall in love with, but it feels like it could be a 3. I am listening to it, and I have a physical copy of it. I'm listening to it on Libby, so I'll finish it probably. It seems like it's a fine story so far. I don't know. I don't have much to say about this, so that's why it's probably going to end up being a 3. The earthquake has happened, and now she is walking, and we're getting flashbacks of her time before the earthquake with her partner and talking about her mom, who we know passed away pretty suddenly. And so she's still grieving that and dealing with that. You know, she's worried about getting where she needs to go. She's worried about her partner, and she's worried about the baby. And she is walking, but she doesn't want to take any help or rides from any men because she's in a vulnerable state and men are scary. And we're just getting bits and pieces of that. What I really want to update you though on is Daughter of the Forest. I am loving this. I will say it was a slow start. It's very old fantasy feeling. It reads like an adult fairy tale, but I'm really liking it so far. And it really takes its time having you get to know these characters and the sisters and the brothers, and it even like gives you a good idea of what their mother was like before she passed away, and what their father was like, and how the brothers feel about their father, and why the father is the way that he is, and why each of the brothers are the ways that they are. And I really like that. I would think it is done well in here, and it's not like too drawn out, but I think that the background and the foundation of the story is very well built. It doesn't feel episodic, but it definitely feels like there are parts to the story. In the beginning, we're getting, you know, her as a young kid, you know, 10, 12 years old, and then something happens, and then we get the next level of her growing up. And while she's helping out so like in the beginning, it's like her and her brothers and their relationship, and then it's her using her skills as a healer, helping out somebody after something happens that I can't tell you. And then, you know, it's her leaving that situation and then dealing with her stepmother, and then her brothers get cursed, and then she has to deal with that situation. And then there's something else that happened in here that there is a sexual assault in here. There is an assault in here, and there is SA in here. So if that's a trigger for you, you might want to just be careful of that. It's not real detailed, and it is done very, in a way, at least where I feel like it was done with reason and purpose and respectfully, etc. So that happens, and then it propels the story forward even more. You know, this horrible thing has happened, and all she has had is her brothers, and she doesn't have them anymore, and they weren't there to protect her, and she is on her own, and she has to figure out things. The main character's name is Sorsha, I think. All Irish names, and so I would butcher all of them if I tried to name them, other than like Liam and Connell. Like I get those. Sorsha is, you know, out on her own now. She's met someone else. Amazon's here. Never mind, Amazon's not here. Anyways, what's nice about her too is that she's very capable. She has her own skills. She knows plants. She's a healer. She really has a good skill set. She's educated, and we really see her use those skills in here. One thing I will say though that bothers me a little bit is she's 14. I mean, in the part I am in now, she's 14. Like, she knows all these things, and she's 14. However, this is supposed to take place sort of in the Middle Ages, and that time where Britain's lords or whatever was, you know, attacking Ireland and colonization, and, you know, taking over and getting rid of some of the older ways. And so, you know, 14's a lot older back then, I guess, but yeah, I wish it was older. This was originally written in 1996, 2000. So yeah, so it's 26 years old. And so yeah, it was written a while ago. So I just kind of forget that she's 14, and I pretend that that's not the case. I'm like, no, she's like 18. It's fine. Still, she is supposedly 14 in this. She doesn't read like a 14-year-old. She definitely reads more like a 18, 19, 20-year-old. Also, life has made her that way. There's wars and battles and unrest around her at all times growing up. If, you know, she wasn't involved in it because she wasn't there. You know, she wasn't a man, and she wasn't one of her brothers who were being sent off to do this war and these battles. But now that she, in the part that I am at, she is outside of her father's protections, and so she is having to deal with the realities of war and unrest and battles, you know, enemies about. There is magic in here, old ways, magic, fae, stuff like that, druid type stuff. One of her brothers is very in tune with the druid-like magic. All of her brothers and her are very connected. Her mother made sure of that before she passed away. She was very in tune with the old ways and the druid magics. So she and her brothers are very connected in that way. Some of them can speak without speaking to each other, with their minds, without words. And so of course that helps Sorcha out because she cannot speak, so she is able to speak with some of her brothers when they are able to speak with them, when they are able to connect with her in that way, to reach out. So yeah, there is some magic in here. It is very soft magic at this point. There's, other than the fae, I mean, there are fae in here. They aren't main characters, but they are used sort of as plot devices and reasons for things happening, and reasons that she is having to, you know, go on these quests and things to break this curse that her brothers are under. I think that I am saying too much and nothing at all. However, all of that to say, I'm liking this, and I'm about halfway through, and I'm looking forward to finishing, and I would love to read more from Juliet Marlier. And also, this is part of a series. However, as far as I know, I think they all kind of cover different siblings. So this one covers the daughter, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other ones that I believe cover other members of the family, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I wouldn't mind making my way through these things. But as far as I know, Elliot Brooks said this could be read as a standalone. So if you don't like series, you don't fret. You don't have to read them all. As far as I know, this doesn't end in a cliffhanger or anything like that. But I will confirm when I finish. I'm gonna go inside now. I got myself some Jersey Mike's because we don't have much food in the house, so I'm gonna go eat that. Been sitting here most of the day reading on and off. I'm on page 254 of Daughter of the Forest. This copy in particular reads so slowly. I'm sorry about the squeaky toy. My mother-in-law's dog's here and she squeaks incessantly. Incessantly! Stop! Stop all the squeaking! Took away your squeaker. We'll see how long it takes her to find another one. Anyways, I've been reading Daughter of the Forest all day. It reads really slowly because there's a lot of words on each page. I'm on page 254. I've got about 145 pages left to go. I am still liking this. It is very... Oh my God! What are we gonna do with you guys? This is Sophia. That's her bum, and she loves to squeak. Sophia! Stop it. Stop squeaking. Nobody wants to hear it. And I'm being stalked by all the dogs. This is my mom's dog. That's my mother-in-law's dog. That's my dog. And the other one's somewhere else. Probably trying to avoid all of this shenanigans. What do you think, Ellie? What do you think of that Sophia girl? What do we think about her?
Is she a pain in the arse? Is she a pain in the arse? I can't disagree. But we love her anyway, don't we? She's just a very squeaky. What do you think, Piper? What do you think, Pipe? What do you think?
Kind of slow part, quiet part to this book now, but I'm still enjoying it. Even the parts that are less plot heavy are good, in my opinion. I'm still enjoying it. I probably would choose to read this a little bit slower if it wasn't due to the library in a couple of days, because some of these more slow parts are a bit long, but I am still enjoying it. They are still adding something to the story, at least for me. There is a not so nice guy in here named Richard. It's my husband's name. Keep on reading books with not so nice guys in them named Richard. Cherry Baby also had a guy in it named Richard that wasn't very nice, if I recall. Anyways, he goes by Richie, so he's not a bad one, right? Anyway, I don't know if I have much more to say about this. It's still going well. I'm on page 255. I am also still listening to Tilt, which the book's over there, and I'm too lazy to go get it, so editing me will have to put the cover in. And that one's hard. I don't really have much to say about it. It's her walking around after an earthquake trying to find her husband and coming across lots of people in need and trying to help people out while also trying to survive herself. And I don't feel like it's hitting emotionally very hard, which it should based on the content. And it's not really hitting like in any other way other than I kind of want to know what happens at the end. So I'm going to keep reading it. I'm listening to it. I only have like an hour left, 45 minutes left. So it's not like it's a big task to finish. But I don't think it's going to get more than 3 stars. I'm not really invested in anything. Like I want her to find her husband and him to be alive, but it's not something that I'm going to be destroyed by if she doesn't. Like when I read Atmosphere, the events of that story had me very invested in what was going on. And this one, even though it's a natural disaster, doesn't have me very invested other than it's scary because it could happen, but the story itself, I don't think it's doing much for me. Anyways, I am going to sit here and read this and hopefully finish it at some point. I'm also on Sunrise on the Readathon sprints with Sorry Booked Solid, so that's fun. The smokiness outside was a little better today, but it was still, air quality was still not fantastic, so I decided not to run. I took away your squeaker. I'm here to give you an update on Tilt. I have finished this now, and I'm giving it 2 stars. I was pretty ambivalent about this all the way through. I don't know. It just didn't do anything for me. It didn't make me emotional. There was like maybe 2 or 3 lines that I thought could be pulled out of here and taken out of context and just been great quotes. And so yeah, I wasn't really a big fan of the writing, but I didn't really have a problem with the writing so much, but it just didn't have any, I don't know, like at any moment I could have put this down and never picked it back up again and not cared, but it's so short, so I figured out, and I had the audiobook, so I just listened to the whole thing, even though it really wasn't doing anything for me. And it felt a little bit on the nose with the commentary. I don't know. It's just, it didn't do anything for me. There was a little tidbit about her mother and these birds she made, and I really liked that little side tangent story. I thought that was really touching and heartwarming and cute, but I do think like the character development in here was meh, and the story was just like eh. I don't know what else to say about it really. This ended up not being for me. I don't know, part of me wants to give it a 3 because it was just like, I don't know, I didn't really like it that much, but there wasn't anything wrong with it. I don't know guys. I will say though, if you're pregnant and there's an earthquake and you are at an IKEA and you can get outside, just like stay there, find some people that you can trust. Yeah, so Annie is our main character's name, and it just wasn't, I don't know. She is depressed. She's unsure whether or not having a baby is a good idea now that she's already pregnant and about to give birth, and she's a real downer all the time, and she should probably be in copious amounts of therapy. And yeah, I mean, I just felt like this was depressing, but not in a way that I liked, because, you know, I like a bleak book. It just didn't do anything for me. So I don't really have anything else to say about it. And I'm sad that that was the way it went for me. But I don't, like I said, it was entertaining enough, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Take it for what it's worth. Some people are liking this one. I've seen quite a few 4 stars in it. But there have been other people I've seen not like it a whole lot. So, like I said, I think, you know, it could be a generous 3, but I think I'm going to give it a 2.5-ish. So I don't want to talk about this anymore, so I'm not going to. I have nothing else to say about anything else. I have not continued with Homesick. I have not continued with Homesick anymore since the last time I talked to you about that one. I haven't continued with Bourbon and Proof since the last time I talked to you about that one. One thing about Daughter of the Forest is it will do that thing that Stephen King does sometimes where it's like, and that's the last time I saw that person, or, and then there was, because of this decision, something awful happened. It's like foreshadowing. It's like preparing you for the badness. And sometimes I appreciate that because I'm like, okay, I'm preparing myself. But then other times I'm like, well, you're kind of like spoiling it. But at the same time, I don't know. It's stressing me out. They just did that again and it's stressing me out. Let me tell you exactly what they say. Yeah, so one of the last lines, it says, for the next time, it was no mischievous prank that my unknown enemy played on me. It was something far worse, and it led to a tragic turn of events that woke a deep terror of the spirit that brought the force of evil down on the tranquil valley and scarred the household of blank, and it was I who caused it. Oh, I'm worried. I'm worried. Poor Saoirse, like, I mean, other than her first, you know, her mother died in childbirth. She was raised basically by her brothers, and her father was pretty removed after the death of her mother from, you know, them. He was pretty cold. He wasn't like a bad dad, he just wasn't really present. And, you know, but the 12 years growing up, she had a pretty good childhood. But, you know, war-torn countries, like I have said before, lots of unrest. But, you know, she had a pretty good childhood. And then now, you know, curses and horrible, painful things she needs to do to break these curses. And her hands are all like mangled up like this and like scarred, and she has to keep working. And now more stuff's gonna happen, and people don't like her because she's Irish. And and she's coming so close now to completing the task she needs to do to break this curse. But at the same time, like, I'm just so scared someone's gonna take all her work and burn it up, and I'm just gonna have to start over again. I'm just nervous for her. Anyways, all right, I am gonna spend the rest of the night reading this. We might watch a movie though, so I don't know, we'll see. But I have 150-ish pages, 140-ish pages left to finish this, and it's due back at the library tomorrow, but tomorrow's Saturday, so I know like I could probably get away with returning it Sunday night. They wouldn't, you know, charge me. Our library still has late fees. As far as I know, they just have put in a new system, so maybe they aren't doing that anymore. But as far as I know, they still have late fees, but you can like pay a quarter and it can be taken off. So I'm not too worried about it if I don't finish it tomorrow, but I still would like to finish this tomorrow since I have other books I want to read. Anyway, we'll see you later. Bye. Here's another example of blatant foreshadowing. It happened in 2 stages. The first was hard to bear, for me at least, but it paled in comparison with the second. The first was trickery, cruel trickery. The second was murder. Still reading Daughter of the Forest, made it to chapter 13. Getting to the end of this book, I have less than 100 pages left. On Goodreads, it says this is over 600 pages, and this copy is 400. So yes, I was right. Lots and lots of text on each page, and long chapters. This is very slow paced, good fantasy, just very classic. I am liking it a lot. It's going to be at least a 4 at this point. It's a bit of a torturous read though, as you know, the author giveth and the author taketh away, and you get so close and then you're so far, and then there are setbacks. At the point where we are at now, the asshole Richard is very, very evil, and he is just going on and on and on about all his plans and all his things that he has done, and I just want him to shut up and get on with it, because he is very aggravating and I don't want to listen to him anymore. But we're getting towards the end of this now, and I'm hoping we at least get somewhat of a happy ending. We get through all these pages and things do not end in a way that is at least somewhat successful. I'm gonna be upset. We're never coming down. Hello from smoky Connecticut. We are experiencing smoke still from the wildfires in Canada. So prayers and thoughts and vibes and all the things to those who are dealing more closely with that. We're just dealing with, unfortunately, bad air quality, so I can't run outside. I'm hoping to be able to get outside soon, but I haven't been able to, and it's sad. I am hoping that either I'm going to join a gym, I think, next week, or because my son really wants to start lifting a little bit. He is 15 years old now, so he can actually work out at the gym, and he's just more likely to work out at the gym with friends than do anything outside. So we may be investing in that soon, but we will see. We don't really have any big gyms near us, so it's a little bit smaller mom and pop kind of places. We do have an Anytime Fitness, and I think I haven't checked that one out, but I might check that one out soon and see what the deal is there. I am more put together today because I do have a work event that my husband is going to be at, and I have to go, well, his work event. I have a work event for my husband that I have to go to. He is an actuary, and to become an actuary, you have to pass a whole bunch of tests to become an FSA. And two of his coworkers passed their FSA, and so they're having a party because they're actually a couple. So they're actually having a party. So we're gonna go to that, and I'm hoping that it doesn't storm too badly because I feel bad leaving my kids at home when it's storming, even though, most likely they would be fine, but it's only about 40 minutes away, half hour away. So we should be able to get back if the weather starts to turn. I know that we might be experiencing some storms later, so we will see. I'm rambling about that. I have been reading this for most of the morning. It is 1:30 now, so I'm going to read this while I sit here and finish up, hopefully, but I still have about 45 of these big pages left, so I might not be able to finish it. We have kind of come to the culmination of events and the climax, as you say, and I loved that scene. It was very stressful. It was very climactic. And I think the build up to it was done very well. And our girl Sorsha has some decisions she has to make, and I'm curious to see what decisions she comes to. Is really, really good. And I'm glad I picked it up. Elliot Brooks was right again. And I don't know if it's going to be a 4 or a 5, but it definitely has gotten me emotional. It was slow at points. I think if I had meandered a little bit more with this one, read it a little slower, I might have enjoyed it even more. So it's looking like at least a 4 or 4.5. I don't know if I could push it to a 5, but it is definitely up there in terms of enjoyment. I would recommend this. This is a republication. It was originally published, so this was first published officially in 1999. I wonder if that was in a mass market paperback, because I know there is a mass market paperback version of this that was published first, I think. I could be wrong. I'd be curious to read more of this. I know that I think that there are 6 or 7 books in here. 7 books for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6. That confuses me. You'd think there would be 7 for the 7 siblings. Anyways, I don't think I have anything left to say about this. I'm going to continue to read it and see how I feel, and I'll let you know when I finish. I have about 25 pages left. There's this one part where Sorcia's just getting the what for from all the men and telling her what to do. And I'm like, bros, I'm sorry, I have a 15-year-old son. Step back, please. She's been dealing with this pretty much all on her own for the past year. So maybe she should have a say, you know, in what happens. I know this is supposed to be like 9th century or 8th century. So very, 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 very long time ago, like Dark Ages time ago. So anyways, yeah, I have 25 pages left. And we'll see how this all wraps up. But I also wanted to say that last night we watched Obsession. Me and my son and my husband, we've been trying to catch up on some of the horror now that there is some streaming. We don't really have a lot of streaming services, or at least we didn't. But recently we got Hulu, HBO. We have, what's that one? Peacock through our internet, and then Disney Plus. We got like the whole package or whatever for now, but we don't usually keep it for very long, so we're trying to like watch all the things, because previous to that we just had Prime and Netflix, because I don't watch barely any TV, and my husband and my son watch a lot of Crunchyroll, the anime service, and we just kind of like watch Netflix or whatever when we want to watch something. But my daughter's been asking for Disney Plus because she's been getting into musicals lately, and she wanted to watch Hamlet. She wanted to watch Hamilton and some other thing. And I wanted to watch Obsession, but that was gonna come on to Peacock. So we watched Obsession last night. Anyways, all that is to say, we've been watching a lot of movies lately. We watched Scream with my son. We watched Sinners, which I enjoyed. I thought that was really, really good. And then we also watched Obsession last night with my son. That movie, it's as effective and scary and disturbing as people say it is. And that performance, oh yeah, and like the movements and stuff, I'm sure some of that was done post. And my husband's like, well, he is evil. It's like, yeah. Ugh. And his name is, and the man's name is Bear in that, which I thought was interesting. Anyways, so yeah, I just wanted to let you know that we did watch Obsession and I did like it. And we watched Weapons a few weeks ago too, and so I'm just catching up on all the notable horror that people have been speaking about. Anyways, it is raining out now. I'm gonna be reading this for the next 10 minutes or so until my son gets out, and then I'll probably have a little bit left to finish later, and then I'll return this since it is due today. But like I said, as long as it's in their box when they get it on Monday, they probably won't charge me. I'll let you know when I have something else to say. I have finished Daughter of the Forest. I'm going to give this 4.5 stars. I will say that it does drag on a little bit towards the end, but it kind of kept the same pace throughout. So I can appreciate that. It ties everything up at the end. It takes its time. And I think everything was just done really well. There is SA in here. I thought it was done tastefully. It was done with purpose. And the way that Sorcia works through that trauma, I thought was all done very well. And so yes, I'm going to give this 4.5 stars. Hello, thank you. And I'm going to be heading off to bed here soon. I did have to go to my husband's work party, and that was fine. It was fun. It just exhausts me being around people. It's so people-y. But I went fine, and I'm glad we went, because, you know, getting an FSA is hard and it should be celebrated. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna give this a 4.5. It's definitely gonna be up there. Some new favorite fantasy of the year. We'll see. I could come back to it and say it's a 5, but I don't think I'm gonna come back to it and say it's less than a 4.5. So I will go with that for now, and I'm very happy with that. Another win for Elliot Brooks's recommendation. I'd recommend this, picking it up even if you don't like a series, because this I think could be definitely read as a standalone, 100%. Anyways, thank you so much. What do I have? Homesick, and then I also have Bourbon and Lies to read. So those are the next 2 books I'll be working on. about to go run. It's Sunday. I am about 50% of the way through Homesick. I can't remember what I told you about this. This is set in Scotland. A woman from Edinburgh moves there because something happened, we don't know what, with her work, or there was some incident, and she is fleeing. She moves into this little cottage, and unbeknownst to her, it is split in two, and she has a neighbor. It's like a, I forget what they call those. I can't remember. So there are two cottages in one, essentially, and I'm about 50% of the way through Homesick now. I'm still really liking it. I don't know what's going on. I think I talked about how I had a suspicion there was something going on because of some hints that were being dropped, and I don't know if that's true yet, but I think it was like too much of a hint, if that is the case. You know, this is in Scotland, so there might be some, probably is some Scottish folklore, fae stuff going on. I'm liking how our main character is very socially awkward. We don't know if she is neurodivergent or anything. It's not explicitly said, but she definitely has trouble in social situations and sort of figuring out where her place and where she fits in social situations and in life. And she's trying to figure that out in this new place. But at the same time, she has this neighbor which she is seeing sometimes and not seeing other times. There's strange noises in the house. There's a bunch of music playing, but then when she goes outside, she doesn't hear it anymore. And people are saying that she doesn't have a neighbor, but then there's this old guy who seems to know something about what's going on in that house, but, you know, is being cryptic, as they do, as they are, as the old men who seem to know something always are in these stories. But she's also trying to meet new people in the town and make some friends and figure out her new situation. She still doesn't have bedding, is still the scariest thing to me. At least got some food in the house now, and she's making herself something to stuff to eat. But anyways, yeah, there has been some creepy bits in here, and I'm definitely intrigued to know what is going on. And I feel like sort of like a thriller, not that this is a thriller, but sort of like a thriller, whereas it'll depend on what direction this takes on whether I end up loving it or just liking it. But so far so good. I am enjoying this one. I'm about to go on a run since Tuesday. It's Sunday now because of the air quality, so I'm excited to get out for a run. Runs have been feeling okay, not super good, and I do have a appointment with the pulmonologist on Tuesday to see if there's something going on lung-wise, because I've mentioned in previous videos that runs have not been feeling as good as they used to. I feel like I'm working way harder than I should be, breathing-wise. So we shall see. I know we're not gonna get any answers. He's probably gonna order some testing, whatnot, some basic stuff. But at least we're gonna get the ball rolling there to see if there's something going on pulmonary-wise. I'm gonna go run. We have Jan's sprints in like an hour, so I want to run and get back in the shower before those start. I am on sprints with my subscribers right now and a few friends, and so I'm having fun with that. I am reading Homesick this morning during sprints. I'm trying to get through this by the end of the day today. We'll see if it happens. So I am reading Homesick still. This one is, whoops, this one is getting creepy. So I am liking it more now, and I am liking where it's going. I'm liking the whole Scottishness of it all. And I don't want to say any more than that because I don't want to spoil it, but it is moving in a direction that I suspected, but in a way that I am liking. So that's happy news. I ran today. I already ran 3 miles, and then I got ready to do sprints. So I will hopefully get through this book, and I will let you know how it goes. I officially finished Homesick, and I think I'm going to give this 4 stars. I really liked it. I thought this was definitely really good, and it's a debut, so I can see things getting even better from here. It wasn't perfect for me. I didn't have like a huge emotional reaction or anything to it, but I just think it was very entertaining and pretty well done. There are, you know, themes of running away, but you can't run away from yourself or your troubles. You have to deal with them. You have to do the work in here. But it was done in a way that was very entertaining. There were some really gory bits in here, which I thought were a lot of fun. There were definitely some creepy imagery in there, and I was intrigued the whole way through, and I just blasted through the last 63% of it today, and I wasn't bored. So I would definitely recommend this one. It did get a little emotional at parts, but I didn't connect with it as much as I did some other things. But there are similar themes to Even the Lamb in a way, but it's not as depressing or bleak as that. You know, there are more of a resolution in this book than in some of the other ones with similar themes. I would almost compare it a little bit to like a Rachel Harrison, but grittier, and because it did have a little bit of humor in it, but definitely it was much grittier than some of the things I've read from her. One thing that bothered me a little bit was that it almost gave away too much information at times. I didn't need full explanation of all the tids and bits, you know. Nothing is left up to make us wonder about in here. And I kind of tend to like a little bit more ambiguity and a little room for exploration and discovery in a story. And there are things you don't know a lot through most of the book, but in the end, everything is wrapped up and given answers to, and you know, everything, all that lurks in the shadow is brought to light. If you like that kind of thing, you will be happy with this one for sure. Really strong debut. Gonna give it 4 stars. A nice horror NetGalley arc, and I'm going to finish up my sprints now and write this review so that I can get it up on NetGalley and on probably Instagram. So now I need to finish Bourbon and Lies and Peach Pit for this vlog, and then I'll be all done. But I am also reading on audio The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry because this was available on Libby. This is super heartwarming and cute. I didn't know that what this was about, other than it was about a man who owns a bookstore and he was grieving his wife. But I had no idea that, you know, he ends up adopting a daughter, and that it's like in this small town on Ellis Island. Liking this one. I think this one is super cute. I don't know if I'll finish it in this vlog. It'll depend on how much audio book time I get, but now I'm gonna move on to reading Bourbon and Proof. I have about 400 pages left in there, so that's a longer romance for sure. And then Peach Pit, I'm about halfway through, so these are the two I'm gonna be finishing in this vlog, and I'll let you know how that goes. But so far, Homesick was a 4. And what else did I read for this vlog? Daughter of the Forest was a 4, so we're doing well. Ridiculous. You're not getting that from her. That's hers. You have like about 12 more bones you could go grab. I think Ellie is sick of Piper being here. I think she's like, go home. Go back to your home.
That's an insult, though. Are you not here? I'm like, hey, fresh raspberries, 4
The last few days have been a little rough. My energy is just in the garbage can, and I don't know why. My brain has just been a little foggy, and I'm just having trouble just getting my energy up. And so haven't really wanted to be on camera, but I did manage to finish Peach Pit. I ended up giving this 3 stars. I averaged out all the ratings of the stories in here, and it came out exactly to a 3, and that's kind of what I suspected before I did the calculations. I had quite a few just flat 3s in here, and then I had a few 2s and a few 4s, and so I think some of these stories are definitely worth a read, But yeah, overall, I think I'm probably going to be unhauling this one. I don't think it's one I would go back to at all. I really liked The Devil's Doorknob. I thought that one was funny. Buffalo was good. Manifestation, I liked. Miss Wrong, I gave a 4. And A Scholarship Opportunity, I like that one too. So there are definitely a few in here that I think I gave like 4 or 5 of them 4 stars. So it's a worthwhile collection. It's just not one I think I will go back to. So I'm going to probably be unhauling that at the end of the month. And then I have gotten halfway through Bourbon and Proof. I'm liking this one. I am not liking it as much as I thought I would because Ace and Hadley. Ace and Hadley's dynamic is something I've loved in the other 2 books when we've come across them in the brothers' lives. And Ace is someone who I thought I would like because he is the older one, and I've just, like I said, have really liked their dynamic and their banter in the other books. But this one I'm not liking as much as the other 2, and I think it might be because their relationship is sort of already established. Not a romantic relationship, but their friendship and their dynamic has already been established. And so I kind of have to go at it from that perspective. Like, I've already witnessed some things between the 2 of them, but then in this one, they're like doing this fake marriage, it's not really fake marriage, dating type of thing. And like, they both acknowledge their feelings for each other, but they both refuse to tell each other about them, even though the other one kind of knows. And they both have a lot of baggage too. I just want them to like shut up and get over themselves, but then I guess there wouldn't be a book. And also, Ace does like some creepy stuff with her underwear without her knowing about it, and that kind of made me I guess not uncomfortable, but it just kind of gave me the ick. Anyways, I am really going to try to finish this today. I did pick up the audiobook because you get this on KU, so then the audiobook with Audible is like super duper cheap, and I had a credit, not a credit, but I had like a $5 credit anyway, so it ended up being free. And so I am going to listen to this on audio a little bit because I keep falling asleep reading today. I have already fallen asleep twice this morning, and it's only 10 o'clock. I got up at 6:30 with my husband before he went to work, and yeah, it's already 10 o'clock. It's only 10 o'clock and I've already fallen asleep twice. I think I've slept like an hour and a half of the morning away, and then other parts of the morning have been spent staring at the wall. I don't know, it's just one of those days, I guess. Summer when I was like hyped up, it just like fell on a just very hyper, lots of energy week, and this week is just an exhaustion week for some reason. I hate it. I didn't run yesterday because it was pouring out and humid. I don't think I will run today, but then probably tomorrow. Oh, I went to the pulmonologist, and he has started me on some asthma daily inhaler medication, and then also an emergency inhaler, and then also ordered a pulmonary efficiency test, but that I can't get in for that until September. So he started me on asthma medication because let's just assume you have exercise-induced asthma and treat it as such, and then if it helps, great, and in 3 months, if it isn't helping at all, then we can just stop the medication, and you have all these other tests that we're going to be doing to see what's going on. So fingers crossed. I have adult asthma and nothing else. So anyways, I'm hoping it helps so I can get back to running, and I think I'll try to run tomorrow after a few days on the medication, just mostly because the weather is kind of crappy and I don't feel like going out there in the humidity and the nastiness today. But the humidity is supposed to pull back tonight, so maybe either I'll run this afternoon, late afternoon, or I'll run tomorrow. Anyways, so this vlog is already getting very long, so I think what I'm going to do is finish this up today, wrap up this vlog here so I can start another one. I should be doing a TBR temp video next. That is the plan.
Just finished Bourbon and Proof. I'm going to give this 3.5 stars. It's probably my least favorite out of the 3. I'm not quite sure why. There's something a little off about the pacing here. And then halfway through, once they sort of admitted all their feelings that everybody already knew about, then there's a whole lot of sex. And I thought it was well done, but it was a little bit too much for me. And in the other two books, I think I had the same issue, but their stories just pushed me through those parts and just made up for it. And in this one, I think because the relationship is already somewhat established and we're not starting from zero here, it just felt a little odd to me, but I still love these two together. I just wish we got a little bit more of the banter. Once they had admitted things, I wish we had a little bit more of the banter, a little bit more of them together in a way that wasn't just sexual. I thought that the developments in the town were interesting to read about. And I love that Grizz also got kind of a happy ending here. And I would still recommend this series. This is some people's favorite of the three, so it's not widely thought of as the least favorite, but it was the least favorite for me. So I'm going to give this a 3.5. It's still better than just a 3-star romance for me, but not quite a 4. So with that, I'm going to end this vlog here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, comment down below, and put some sort of alcoholic beverage if you want to put an emoji in the comments for me for Bourbon and Proof. And I will see you next time. Bye.